Available now on DVD from Dark Sky Films is a new horror thriller entitled Blood Conscious from writer-director Timothy Covell. And this was a film that I think just basically played the indie circuit or festivals briefly before coming out on DVD. But it's out now, and not to ruin the review, but I actually quite liked it. Just watched it last night, and very simple story, not a lot of characters, not terribly complex, but very absorbing. It's the story of three siblings or relatives that go off somewhat, I guess, reluctantly to a cabin in the woods. And you know, if it's a horror movie, going to a cabin in the woods, in retrospect, probably never the best idea. But they go off to this cabin in the woods for like a family getaway. And wouldn't you know, when they show up, their family's dead. Their parents have been shotgunned. So it's one for the family. Good for the holidays. It's they go, their family has been brutally murdered. They find the bodies, and their neighbors apparently have been. And there's this wild-eyed guy with a shotgun accusing these people who've just shown up as being demons, or worried that they're demons, and saying that those family members that have been murdered were demons. They look like your family, but they were demons. And there's a, as far as the leads are concerned, and us, the audience, crazy guy with a shotgun who is, holding them at gunpoint. Eventually they part ways, and these family members are left, in the vicinity of where their family was just murdered, trying to figure out what's going on. Is this guy crazy? Obviously he's crazy. How did this happen? How do they get help? Are they still in danger because this guy's out there somewhere? And as it progresses, basically you wonder, you the audience, and I think the characters as well, wonder, is this guy crazy? Is there something to this? Is it possible there were demons involved? The rational mind says that's impossible. Is it possible that this guy is not who he says he is? Other people show up. Are they who they say they are? What really is going on? And as I have to endlessly quote one of the most perfect taglines ever from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster, who will survive and what will be left of them? It's a good thriller. It's very nicely shot, oddly in 1:3:3 or 4:3 square image, which you don't really see that often anymore. That was an odd choice to me, but it didn't hurt the film at all. I mean, I'm watching it on a sizable TV. I don't care about black bars horizontally or vertically. Doesn't matter. But very nicely shot. Good performances from a cast a cast that was not recognizable to me, but that's not a bad thing. To me, if I see a cast that's good, that's somebody I've never seen before, I just say, okay, well, these are those characters. It's not like when, you put Tom Cruise in a movie. Hey, it's Tom Cruise. He's playing an Irish cobbler. I know, but it's really Tom Cruise. With this, the actors are the actors, and they're all quite good. A-caliber performances in this. And it's just this really absorbing little thriller. There's no special effects. There's nothing fancy. As I say, nobody's, having a sword fight at the top of a moving train that's on fire. There's nothing crazy about this movie other than just this concept of what is going on and how will anybody survive. And the further you get into the movie, the more you question everybody's story as to what's going on and who anybody is. And it was absorbing, and it held my attention right to the end. I thought it was creepy at times, which is good for me. The number of horror movies I've seen, if I find anything unsettling and creepy, that's major points. So I would say, if you can find a copy of Blood Conscious on on DVD from Dark Sky Films, it may be streaming as well. It's certainly worth checking out. If you like indie films, if you like horror films that are not just loaded up with CGI and effects and things like that, it's really a thinking person's horror film. I would say Blood Conscious is a good way to go.